Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of football today. We're going to talk a little bit about recruiting. I'm going to let everybody get on for a few seconds, but we're going to get a little recruiting. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them so that we can, get this thing started. You know, excuse me, y'all got to hear my little jam before we get really, really get crunk. And I forgot we came together that we can have fun. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we gonna once we get a few more people on, we'll get this thing started. I got my boys, y'all don't know nothing about that. That's that Houdini. We'll give y'all a little something else, that while we, you know, this is a theme song. Cap out the side, baby. Spring '90. We was getting it in back then, boy. I'm telling you. Ow! Oh yeah. Oh, I'm about to go get my cane and get loose on y'all. I'm telling you. Hey, but I gotta keep professional because we're gonna talk a little bit about this mid-season recruiting. Hey, for those who I'm gonna ask you guys if you have any questions once we get this thing started to go ahead and make sure you post them on our yard stream so we can get this thing going. Uh, so yeah, let me go ahead and get this thing started. Hey, uh, I'm telling you, boy, that flashlight still make me want to get it. Hey, well, everybody, first off, man, hope everybody's out there being safe. Uh, it's COVID is real. I hope everybody's taking all the precautions they need to take. Uh, let me go ahead and move my camera over here so I can look directly at you. But hopefully everybody's doing everything they're supposed to be doing, so that we can do the stuff that we want to do. So everybody be safe out there. Uh, it's voting season. You need to vote for someone. I don't really care who you vote for. You let your conscience be your guide, but you do need to vote. That's everybody's God-given right. So get out there and vote. Too many people died for it. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys understand what the itinerary is today. Uh, I need to talk to you guys about mid-season recruiting. It's going to be very crucial this year. I got a lot of information from a lot of schools that right now that as a parent you want to hear. If you know any parents that have kids that are seniors, please make sure that we get those guys on here. I'm kind of going to talk to you guys in like what seniors need to do, what juniors need to do, and underclassmen, basically seniors and underclassmen. With COVID, the recruiting calendar has kind of gotten messed up tremendously. Um, first off, let me just start off with, all the kids need to get their stats. So, kids, parents, whatever your kid is doing right now, you need to, make sure you know their stats. A lot of these statisticians at these schools, are kids. You may be missing out on some of your kids' stats. I know that even with my son last game, they had him his stats off by 50 yards. So, you might want to make sure that you are going back, looking at the film, obtaining the stats, so that when you talk to coaches, you can talk to them intelligently about what your kid is doing. Please know that. Uh, please know that a lot of these schools right now, uh, they really aren't doing a lot of the stuff that they would normally do. COVID has really affected a lot of schools. Uh, I'm gonna talk to you guys next up about your highlight films. They're very important. You should have a mid-season highlight film by now. Everyone should have played 4 to 5 games. Um, One of the things about a highlight film is very crucial as the order that you put them in. Um, a lot of people are just making highlight films, putting anything in any order. You want to put your best plays first. If you are primarily a defensive player and you run the ball one time and get a touchdown, a 1 yard touchdown, that 1 yard touchdown does not need to be the first thing they see on your highlights. Um, you know, um, if you are anybody on offense, it should be your touchdowns, explosive plays, and then the other plays that you feel are good first. If you're on defense, if you're a defensive lineman, you might want to put your sacks first, then you stop and run. If you're DB, you might want to put all your pass interceptions, then your pass breakups, then you coming up, supporting on the run. It's important if you're a wide receiver, you want to put blocks in, but that should be last because they want to make sure that you can catch the ball for some touchdowns. So make sure that you guys do that kind of stuff. You're a quarterback, you want to put your touchdowns in, go to your deepest passes to your shorter passes. Running backs, same thing. Go to touchdowns, your longer runs, and then your shorter runs. Um, those are the things that you want to do for certain. You know, also because the order of plays matter. That was number three on the list. I'm kind of rushing through these things because we got some real stuff to talk about in just a second. But the order of plays do matter. Make sure that you look at your film, have someone else look at your film. Um, someone that you trust. Um, I had one of my kids send me a film, and it's good film, but his first play would have been something that a college coach would have turned away. Those guys don't look at your film that long. If you can't make it pop in the first couple of plays, then they're gonna move on. So it's really important that you do that. So now we're at the meat of the program today. Um, you know, the recruiting cycle is totally different than it normally is. Um, One of the things that's very crucial this year is that uh, colleges are not able to come to your son's school. With COVID going on, they have a lot at their different locations. So I'm going to talk to you about what seniors should be doing first, because they're the most important right now, because the clock is ticking. For those who don't know, the NCAA came up with a rule that this year doesn't count. So kids are able to maintain their scholarship and play another year basically. So with that being said, you have a lot of schools right now that they don't know what kind of scholarships they're going to have, especially those schools uh, that are for FCS programs, and those are all of your smaller schools, your historically black college schools, the Jacksonville States, northern northern Iowa, northern Illinois, those kind of schools. Um, so they don't really know what they're going to have. So it's very important this year that you guys, uh, get your film together, get that stuff out. The early bird probably is going to get the worm. So that's very important that you do that. So parents, if you're a parent of a senior right now, you need to make sure that you contact a lot of these division FCS schools. The Division One AA, Division Two schools. I know everybody wants their kids to go to Florida, Florida State, Miami. If your kid is a senior right now, the likelihood of them going to those schools is slim to none, especially with kids being able to come back right now. Uh, if they haven't been in touch with you at this point, then you probably aren't going to be on their radar. But the FCS schools, there's a good and a bad. They haven't really locked down their scholarships yet. There are going to be a lot of kids that probably would have had Power Five and FBS offers that are going to have to go FCS because they're going to be a lot. They're just not going to have the scholarships available. So a lot of FCS programs, have kids on a waiting list right now. So what you need to do as a parent is go ahead and get your kid's stuff together. If they're in a lot of cases, if your kid has a good GPA, you may want to let him walk on at some of these programs. It may be better for him financially. School will probably, have more of an opportunity to take him. Um, so that's something that parents definitely, if you have a kid who has a good GPA, you might want to make sure that you do that. Um, so, in conclude, not well, to sum it up, if your son is a senior, this is the time that you might want to reach out to some of the FCS programs and Division Two schools. Look at their roster, see what they have to offer. See if they have kids, at your son's position. Also, contact the schools now and talk to them about a preferred walk-on. Which is a lot of people frown upon that, but I've known at least 9 or 10 kids that did prefer walk-ons, and they're actually in the NFL right now, uh, just from Central Florida alone. So, you're better off going to a school that you feel that you can fit at than just weren't, even if, especially if you can afford it, or if your kid is smart enough to where they can get a scholarship. So, if you have any questions, like by all means, you can send them to me on, and I will answer them. Um, that way we can get a lot of that stuff taken care of. But that's for the seniors. For you guys that are juniors, uh, you know, I know a lot of you guys got a lot of scholarship offers, and you feeling good about it, but you know, you still got to put it down this season. Like I say, it's really crucial for you guys because normally you would have been able to visit schools right now so that they could get your height and weight, talk to you, get to really know you. Right now, you're not able to do that. So, so you need to make sure that you are out there balling, you know, out of control. Also, I need to make sure that you guys understand coaches have a lot more time to look at film, so they are actually watching you on the sideline when you're not in the game. uh I had a coach send me a video about my son on the sideline dancing or whatever. He thought it was funny, but it was funny to me because he can dance like his daddy. But what I was like, man, y'all really watching film of them on the sidelines? Like, yeah, man, we ain't got nothing to do. So that's something that you guys might want to tell the kids as well. Know these coaches are able to see all your film and watch you on the sideline. So don't come to the sideline throwing your helmet. Don't come to the sideline with arguing. Make sure everything is positive. Because they're able to see everything right now. Manny Stokes just asked me, no bus tour. Uh, Manny, yeah, we'll have a bus tour this year. It was no bus tour this summer because of COVID, but we'll have one this year. Um, the other thing is for you guys that are sophomores and freshmen, same thing applies. You guys are kind of, fortunate. Nothing really changed for you guys. You got a ball out of control anyway. Um, Juniors, like I said, please uh, don't be the kind of junior that you're blowing these teams off and blowing people off. It's going to be really tight on you guys, believe it or not. And seniors, right now, if you don't have the Power Five offers that you thought you were expecting to get, you might want to take a look at some of these programs, smaller FBSs and FCSs for certain. So make sure that you do that. Now, I would tell anyone right now, if you're a class of 2021, uh, which is guys that are seniors, you may need to get the assistance of a recruiting service. Um, the one recruiting service that I trust more than any of them is Plan for Envelopes. Uh, planforenvelopes.com, I think, is their website. If you want to get that information, you could always email me, agwaseem at iCloud. I can, forward it to you. Greg does a tremendous job of helping out, uh, you know, parents, and I think it's a reasonable cost. We do help as well with Top Recruits now. Um, Everything's on the website, www.top recruits now. But you definitely want to, parents are, like I always remind you, you can do this on your own. You actually can you can go on the internet and make those calls. The only difference is the guys that recruiting services, they have relationships. And I would, look at guys like Greg and some of the guys that we have. I have guys who coached and played in the NFL and college, and those guys are the guys who reach out for people for me on Top Recruits now. But you want to get some people. You don't. There's other companies out there that they're just taking your money. Stuff isn't going to schools. I'm not going to say their names, but you want to make sure that there's intimate relationships with these coaches so that your son can at least get a look. They may not choose your son, but at least he gets a look, and that's all that you're really looking for as a parent. Um, you know, but if you want to do it yourself, you can reach out to them. The only difference is, like I said, uh, the parent, they don't know you. And what I only advice I would definitely give you is, when you reach out and you put stuff out there, you don't want to, you might want to have the coach reach out for you, or somebody else, because when you as a parent put it out there, unless your son's film is just dynamite, coaches are going to just think you're, got the daddy goggles on. So sometimes, I'll give you guys an example. My oldest son, when he was in high school, he liked Michigan State. And, I sent everything. And of course, we had the same last, not of course, but we did have the same last name. And so I never got a reply. So what I did was I went to my son's uncle and had him send out the same exact film. And, and uh, what he did was, this dude here is ridiculous. But he did. but what he did was, sorry, I had someone trying to scam on the screen, guys. But uh, once my uncle sent out, who played at Clemson, was a first round draft pick. They actually, looked at his film, called him, talked to him, all that kind of stuff. So I would advise you, if you are going to send it out as a parent, you know, speak with your coach at your school, see if he doesn't mind sending it out for you, or something like of that nature. But the most important thing is, this is the year the squeaky wheel is going to get the oil. So make sure that you're putting the stuff out for your kids. Make sure that have someone that's your advocate, either at the school. Um, like I said, normally, like I tell parents all the time, this year you definitely might, if you can afford it, because I'm always about what you can afford. If you can afford it, you might want to pay someone to help you with your son getting recruited. It's going to be very crucial this year. So, like I said, uh, two sites that I know people will at least put your stuff out to film. Top Recruits Now, that's my company that I work with. A lot of other guys that they'll get the film out and they'll at least put them out there. The only thing I do at Top Recruits is you have to do at least an honest evaluation, so that before I put your stuff out, because I want you to know what these guys are saying about your kid, because on the honest evaluation, that's an evaluation done by a former NFL uh, player or a college coach that tell you what level they feel your son's film shows. And the reality of it is, this year your film is going to determine where you go. uh, because they coaches can't really come out and see you. So your film is very important. But I'm not reaching out, to anybody, or having our guys reach out to anybody if we don't have an honest evaluation, because I want parents. I have one parent that I know that I love him, great guy, but he's very unrealistic about his son's, where he's going to be recruited. It doesn't mean your son is not good. It just means that, the film that he has, he's not going to go to a Power Five school. You know, even if he had the talent, he's not going there. I mean, he's already been evaluated, and the evaluation is off the film. They're not going to do that. So, like I told him, he could reach out to those schools, but we'll reach out to the D two schools for him on his behalf. Uh, and playing for envelopes. I think playingforenvelopes.com. They do a tremendous job as well. I know that they're not just taking your money; they're actually reaching out to these schools on your kids' behalf. So, once again, if you need to ask any other questions, feel free to reach me on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Probably, preferably Facebook. Message me, uh, or if you'd like to send me an email, you can always send it to Wasim at iCloud.com. That's AGWASEEM as a Mike at iCloud.com. And Manny, yeah, there's no bus tour this year. Uh, Manny put it out there. He's right. There is no bus tour this year. Well, it was not one this year, but it will be one this upcoming year in 2021. Um, a little birdie told me that they're going to probably open up schools to be the kids to go by these schools in January. That would be really good for these kids if they get that opportunity. Um, for the guys on my 7-on-7 team, we definitely will be visiting schools sooner than later. So, once again, I appreciate your time. I just wanted to make sure we got that out. Uh, hey, right now, like I said, if you don't remember anything else, get your kids' stats, make sure that they're accurate. Make sure that you get do a good midseason highlight film. I'm not pressing you as much to put it out there, because right now, uh, I don't think a lot of coaches are really looking as much, because they don't have, um, they have so much time and they don't know what scholarships they have left. They really don't. They don't know which kids are coming back, which kids. So a lot of your smaller schools right now aren't putting that out there. So once we get out there, that's something that we'll definitely make sure But like Devin Housey said, and he's saying right now, 2021 had the harder than anyone ever, but we will persevere. That is so true. Those guys have had it very, very hard. Uh, but I think that what's going to happen, there are going to be a lot of really good kids that are going to go to FCS programs. One thing for certain, kids don't want to big time this year. Like, you know, kids don't want a big time. I promise you that. That's something you don't want to do this year. Like a lot of times you see kids do that, and they turn their nose up to schools. Right now, you want to speak to everybody, because it's going to be rough out there. Let's see, we got Terrence Mumford. How exactly are the schools evaluating the players during COVID without on-campus visits? Great question. What they're doing, Terrence, and just so that people know, uh, what they're doing is schools are actually looking at your kids' film. This year, your film is very, very important. I mean, it really, really is. What when they come on a campus visit, one of the most people, one of the things that they're doing, that they want to get your height and weight. They want to see, they want to put their eyes on you. They want to talk to you. Right now, if you look at, a lot of these schools, that's what's hurting a lot of kids. They're not able to put their eyes on kids. They're not able to put their height and weights. They're not able to, come and talk to the kids. So those are the things that are really hurting the class of 2021, especially FCS programs. They really look for that kind of stuff. A lot of the, FBS programs or Power Five programs like the Alabamas, Florida States, and all that. They pretty much know who they're getting in the 2021 class already. They already are dealing with those guys, and they're already recruiting them. So, you know, uh, so a lot of FCS programs, and that's where the majority of the kids, right now that are left for 2021 would be able to get in that in D2. They're unable to really recruit the kids. If you're, it only other kids that it really affects is those 2022 kids that are elite. Those kids are, definitely, having an issue right now because they're not being able to be seen. And then some kids aren't even playing right now. So, film is important right now. And so, kids need to make sure that they're doing their best. And like I said, please know that they're looking at everything with your film. Let me see. Kevin just put some up. Kevin said, "What do you think about kids enrolling early? Should they wait to sign early? Do you think they will push signing date early or national?" I doubt they'll push back signing day. I could be wrong because honestly, for all those kids that have already enrolled, like the early enrollees, those schools have already probably know that those kids are coming. One of the issues that I can see is a school had kids that they thought they had scholarships, and the kids like, no, I'm still going to come back to school. It's going to be interesting because I'm telling you, schools are going to, be letting kids go. Schools are going to tell kids, oh, no, you got a career in an injury to let some of these newer kids come in. But I would advise every kid, if you early enrolling, this is the best time to go. I mean, you need to go ahead and go. Some programs, you know, uh, you know, you'll be able to get that extra work. I'm just a big proponent. If you can go to school early, you should always go because you get a whole full semester to learn what it's like to be a college football player. So if you can, and then also, I would sign as soon as I can because right now you don't know what can happen because there's going to be a lot of kids that let's say you don't sign on early signing day, you waiting, and now other kids don't sign. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It really, really is. Let's see. Uh, Kyle Smith. What should kids do that won't get film or not getting film from not playing because of COVID? Uh, Really, kids that aren't getting film, it's going to be tough on them. Because they can't even go to camps. Like last year, you had been able to go to a camp where you could have performed in front of a school. It's going to be very, 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 and please hear me this if you're the class of 20, 22, 23, 24, you guys better go to camp this year. I don't give a dang. You ain't got to go on my bus trip. You ain't got to go. Your parents need to get you in the car, and you need to go to camp this year. If you're a kid not getting film and you're a senior this year, it's going to be hard for you to get a football scholarship. You might want to start looking at, like I said, prefer walk-ons. Because if you got a good GPA and a good attitude, most coaches will give you an opportunity, and that's all you'll be asking. But if you ain't got no film, it's going to be rough on you this year for all kids who don't have film. But if you're 20, if you're 22s, 23s, 24s, uh, you might want to make sure that you're at people's camps this year. I promise you, you definitely want to be at people's camps this year. So that's some. Uh, Khaled hit it right. There's going to be a lot of kids come up short. So what you don't want to do is come up short because you didn't let coaches know about yourself. This is the year you're going to have to promote yourself some form of fashion. Either you do it yourself or you hire someone to do it. It's just that simple. You're gonna have to do it yourself. You're gonna have to do it. Uh, Walt asked how I can get on the bus trip. Walt, once everything dies down, probably in February, we'll actually put out the bus trip schedule. Normally we would have it out already, but you know, with COVID, we weren't able to do that. So, you know, we will make sure that we get that out to you. And, you'll see stuff. If you don't, just always go to toprecruitsnow.com, www.toprecruitsnow.com. When the bus schedule's out, we'll definitely put it up there. Uh, yeah, I mean, Kelly hit it on the nose. There are going to be a lot of kids who are going to be ready to come back because they didn't necessarily perform the way they wanted to perform. They don't have uh, they don't have the draft grade they want. So if they get an opportunity to come back, why wouldn't you? And you can't get mad at them. So, uh, and I think the NCAA is going to have to do a few things differently. Because a lot of these schools don't have the financial backing to just say we're going to give out you know 20 more additional scholarships, because a lot of people think that what they'll do is bump it up this year to, like, give those 15 to 20 kids, bump it up. That's going to be tough because a lot of schools aren't able to just get the $25,000 scholarship to 20 more kids. That's $500,000. A lot of schools don't have that, so that's going to be something that's going to be interesting, to say the least. So you know. But like I said, I think this is something that our kids will overcome. Hopefully, everyone is taking COVID seriously. Like I said, if you get nothing out of this, make sure that your kids are getting their film. Parents, you need to be proactive. These kids are not proactive. You ask them that they reach out to somebody. You're gonna have to figure out a way to reach out to them, even if you parent. As also too, I forgot to tell you this too, parents, before you as a parent reach out to the kid, to a coach, have your kid reach out to the coach. Even if you write it up yourself, have your kid reach out to the coach, because quite frankly, when you reach at these schools, the coach isn't getting it. It's going to someone in the recruiting department. you know but like I said, a lot of times when you're the parent, uh, they just look at you as someone who's playing daddy ball, and your son, you're just, excited about your son. So, that's something that, you got to watch out for. So just, if you'd rather have your son reach out to the school, a good grammar, good writing, uh, you know, uh, one thing too, we got to make sure is that these kids that are seniors, they're able to talk to them. They're reaching out to them on Twitter. Make sure that they, handle themselves appropriately. Let's make sure we clean up their social media. We don't need any, cussing and going off, or, they don't need to be reposting videos of anything sexual or anything of that nature. This is a business opportunity for them right now. Their Twitter, Instagram, everything needs to be a straight business opportunity, because, trust me, schools, what they do is they'll have the cute little girl, befriend them, someone in their recruiting department that actually she goes to school at the school, but she gets paid to literally go on people's Twitter and all that stuff, and dig all that stuff up. So let's make sure that we sweep all our kids' Twitters and stuff like that, and make sure that they are doing the right thing. So I wanted to make sure that I got this out. This is the mid-season report. Tell everyone to keep balling, to keep doing the best they can. And like I said, if you need me, you can look at the video. You can reach me at agwasim@icloud.com, or you can always reach me on Facebook. Thanks a lot, and we'll get with you guys next time. Peace.